Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon babies, rising as well as Venus. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of June 21st, 2026. It is a collective general reading. So as the messages come through today, take what fits, leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else to hear. And please check your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box of this video is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, Scorpio, keep in mind, this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. I have already released those readings. However, the tarot card of the week reading is intended to be a message to you from source, something that they want you to consider this week so you can make a decision that is best for you and your life at this time. With all of that said now, let's begin tapping into the Scorpio collective. Sun, Moon babies, rising as well as Venus. What is the tarot card of the week here for the Scorpio collective for the week of June 21st, 2026? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Tarot card of the week, Three of Swords. What painful aspect of your life do you need to confront? This is not what you don't see coming, okay? So don't freak out. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. What situation in your life is calling you to have independence and self-realization? I feel like this is going to touch on that Mercury retrograde reading that I just did for your sign. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to see it. Some of you are still holding on to that Three of Swords. Something that someone did or said to you at some point in time is still stuck, okay? Tell me more about the Three of Swords here for the Scorpio collective. And I think it's creating a trust wound or a trust deficit in the Scorpio collective, which can be a little dangerous for us. I'm a Scorpio moon, as most of you know, because we're born, like literally 2 minutes into the world, we already have trust issues. We're already side-eyeing the doctor or whoever delivered us. So one more shuffle here. Thank you. Three of Swords. We have the Seven of Pentacles. You've been holding on to this for a long time. Queen of Swords and the Empress. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords. Yeah, you ruminate on this all the time, and I think it has created a trust issue or a trust deficit, either with this person or a group of people or just with others now in general, even if like this person's no longer in the picture. I think you think about it often. Nine of Swords is Mars in Gemini. So again, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right? Mercury's communication. So it's not only like when we talk about it, we're angry when we think about it, because swords are also the, words we say to ourselves. And Mars can be angry, especially when we're sitting there ruminating on something. So I feel like when you talk about this, you're angry, but when you think about it, it really fires you up that this person said or did this or treated you this way. Seven of Pentacles. You've been holding on to this for a long time. I feel like this is the week source wants you to really focus on freeing yourself. One more shuffle. Thank you. Seven of Pentacles, clarified by King of Wands, High Priestess, and the Lovers. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Pentacles. Whether this person is still in your life or not, did you learn a lot from them? You did. High Priestess, only card in tarot that holds the book of knowledge. So, yep, this person taught you a lot about relationships, whoever they are, professional, platonic, romantic. Maybe for some of you could have been a couple of people. But unfortunately, those lessons you learned came about through pain, deception, heartache, heartbreak, disappointment. And you've been holding on to this for a long time. Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Swords shows itself again. Queen of Swords. You know what I say? Queens exist in the present. They process the present. They process the past. Kings take action. So whatever action this person took broke your heart, like I said, or disappointed you. It's time now for you to step into the role of the Queen of Swords and look at this once and for all. What are they supposed to see? Eight of Swords. You need to look at this. Whatever it is here that you've been ruminating on. Eight of Swords. The World card, that ending or the chapter that closed out, and Page of Swords. There's something here about seeing the lesson of it. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but when we can look at something difficult and extract the lesson, it makes it a little bit more palatable to deal with, to reconcile, to give ourselves closure over, to understand why that happened, right? I wouldn't be the Scorpio I am today had that person or those people not done those things to me. Maybe today you would be a hell of a lot more naive. Maybe this, you know, if that didn't happen, and again, I don't know how bad that was for you. So please, like if we're talking like sexual assault, I'm never going to tell you that you deserve that. But other than something like that, I feel like there was a lesson there for you to learn. So think about if that didn't happen, what kind of Scorpio would you be today? Would you not have boundaries? Would you not have self-worth? You know, would you not be able to defend yourself, speak up for yourself? Would you be triangulated more? You know, allow people to use you. So if we can see it as, wow, that was a really damn good teacher, whether they're still in your life or not, whether you want them back in your life or not, if you can just see it as a lesson and say it was one of the most difficult lessons I had, but I learned a lot, then it makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to move forward from it, like from the pain. Empress, tell me about the Empress energy, because you don't get to be the Empress or Emperor in tarot unless you go through all that entire book of knowledge, right? Needs to be completed for you to graduate to that point. So there's something like that, to understand that this has molded or shaped you into the person that you are becoming, the person that you are today. The Empress, clarify the Empress here. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Empress, clarified by Strength, Knight of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. You've completed this lesson. I don't feel like you're going to have to ever experience that again unless you decide. I mean, at the end of the day, you have free will, but you certainly do not need to experience that again. I would extract the lesson and then move forward. You're spending a lot of time, believe it or not. If you were to be able to write down the time that you spend thinking about what this person did, imagine how many other things you could have done in that course of time. Like, let's say this happened 10 years ago. And if you were actually for the last 10 years honest, and you would journal every time you stopped, and 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords, thought about what that person said or did, had you taken all that time in 10 years and applied it to learning something new, going back to school, saving money, you know what I mean? Doing a side gig, going on vacation, just think about how much different your life would be. And I think that's just your message here for the week. I think it's time for us to free up the energetic space that Three of Swords has been taking up for quite some time. Again, like I said, some of you have been holding on to this for a long time. For others of you, it's a little bit more fresh. But if you can see it again from the perspective of it was a difficult lesson, but it's changed me, it's molded me, I'm all the more better for it. If you can literally change your perspective on that, I feel like life starts to take off. You also then, you clear up all of that time that you've been spending, you know what I mean, thinking about it. It now frees you up. Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Like, now we can move forward with our time management in a better, healthier way, and invest now that time in some new creative ideas, passion projects. I wanted to get Nine of Cups, Three of Swords. Move towards your happiness. I wanted to get 3 cards for you on that message that I got early on about the trust issue. Can I get 3 cards on the trust issue? One more shuffle. Thank you. The trust issue. 2 of Swords, the Tower, yep, and the 9 of Pentacles. And that's what's here at the bottom of the deck. So for a lot of you, this has blocked some other people from coming into your life, professional, platonic, or romantic, because you just don't trust them. So there's something very freeing here when you can see it as a lesson and be able to talk about it as a lesson, as an experience. Like, you know, whatever you had for breakfast today, I had chicken and waffles. So, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm just saying, when we can talk about something in that casual of a way, it doesn't have the energetic hold on us like it used to, which means it frees up our time now and our energy to focus on other things as well as other connections. 2 of Swords is the moon in Libra. So, and Libra is the house of partnerships, contracts, marriage, you know, whether they're professional, platonic, or romantic relationships. And I just feel like if we can see that 3 of Swords differently, it literally shatters that and allows some new people into our life. So let's get you 3 cards of advice. 3 cards of advice here. And maybe for some of you, you want that person back, or they're still in your life. But you have to talk about the 3 of Swords differently. You have to think about the 3 of Swords differently. So take that message too, if that's yours. Let's get you 3 cards of advice here for Scorpio. One more shuffle. Thank you. Your advice, 2 of Cups. When it comes to partnerships, there's that 8 of Swords. And then you have Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, you have 8 of Wands. So in terms of advice, there's a need here for you to get control of your thoughts when it comes to the connection, or I should say the experience that you had with that particular connection. You have something new here that wants to come in. Yes, look at that. 8 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, and the Fool card. And then you have the Emperor to the Lovers. Stop it. 9 of Cups, the Moon. You're still holding on to this 10 of Swords, the 3 of Swords. You're still ruminating on it. So again, whether this person is in your life, not in your life, you want someone new. This could be like a parent that did something terrible to you and you're still holding on to the resentment. And meanwhile, maybe you have like a great new boss or business partner that wants to come in. They're energetically blocked. Whoever this person is, whether they're from your past and you want them back, or they're currently in your life, or someone entirely new. I mean, collective reading. You claim that person how you want. But they're having difficulty coming in because you're still holding on to some really terrible experience that you had in the past. Time to heal it and let it go. Let the new stuff comes in. It's great. It's happiness. Don't you want to be happy? I want to be happy. Let's do this. Let's kick that shit to the curb this week, Scorpio. That is what I have for you for the week ahead. If you like those messages, it resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, subscribe, hype the video if you're able to do that, and don't forget to check out your other placements. Until I read for you again, I am wishing you light, love, and peace.